Which player did your club sign, which when he signed you had massive expectations for, who turned out to be shit? He's been doing the rounds the last 2 days, but I'll start. Saido Berahino, absolute dog shit footballer. Not only did he say he wouldn't play for West Brom again after they rejected the bid from Spurs for him, somehow the club that just is the gift that keeps on giving, Stoke City, managed to sign this man for £12 million. Who, let's be honest, was literally just completely living off the hype from the 4 goals he scored against Gateshead in the Cup. So if you just have a quick look at his stats, they weren't terrible at some places, but the majority was absolutely garbage. Including after the £12 million move at Stoke, 51 games, 3 goals. So anyway, Berahino did a question and answer yesterday on his Twitter. Chiz asked, what's one thing you'd tell your younger self? And Berahino said, always be happy, tomorrow ain't promised. I'm sure he was happy playing absolutely shite every Saturday, picking up that Wonga, because he was on very good money at Stoke. Then another fan asked him why he turned up for a game early, and he put, let's put this to bed, it wasn't true. He never turned up to a game early, on time, or after, because he was garbage. I think it's cut off, but someone said what went wrong at Stoke, and he said everything. Also went on to answer the most underrated player you played with, me. This man is fucking completely disconnected from reality. Obviously, he's just completely out of touch with reality because he's just another one of them footballers who had a purple patch. And then the fact that he never went on to become anything whatsoever is obviously not down to him, is it? So let's answer this one. You were given time and support at Stoke and you were still pretty awful. What specifically did you do or not do to make this the case? I wasn't awful, actually. Clearly, I wasn't getting any support from you. Let me just again reiterate, £12 million for a striker who scored 3 goals in 51. That's 51 games. And he wasn't awful. What is going on here? So at this point, he already said he wasn't getting no support from the fans at the time. And then he got asked what went wrong at Stoke during your time here. And he put everything, but the fans were always so supportive. But guess the project wasn't good enough. The project. I mean, first of all, he says the fans were supportive, but and then didn't support him. And then now he's saying the project wasn't good enough, which was a Premier League team, Stoke City. And then he was absolutely garbage in the Championship and the Premiership. So the project wasn't good enough. I'd like to suggest, Mr. Berahino, that you weren't good enough because you were absolutely tripe. Garbage, garboiseau, awful, terrible, pathetic. So now I've got that off my chest, another massive ego football player who was nowhere near as good as he thought he was. Who was the player that your club signed who ended up being shite? Drop them in the commentos.